Good morning. My name is John Taylor. I work for Kitsap County CENTCOM 911, just west of Seattle. Here to talk to you today about just some basic workouts you can do while you're at work in a confined area. You can do them not only at work, but you can do them anywhere you go. You go back to your hotel room, you go back to your house, you can do some of these things. They're really easy, they're really simple, so you can take it anywhere you go. I've worked for CENTCOM for the 911 Center for over 3 years now. I'm an assistant supervisor. We're a high call volume agency. We have over 300,000 calls a year. We dispatch for 7 law enforcement and 6 fire department agencies. So who here gets their recommended 30 minutes of exercise 3 to 5 days a week? By show of hands.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm jealous that you even got kind of. I used to. I'm trying to now again, but it's difficult. For all of those that didn't raise your hands, why? Why don't you? What's the biggest factors? Time. Anybody else have one?
Work.
Work.
Ambition.
Ambition. Good. Those are all big things. Those are all things that everybody faces. Time is a huge factor with people because of work. You're at work so much. Last thing you want to do when you get off is go do something physical or wake up early enough to go do something and then be exhausted while you're at work all day. So, I guess a little bit about my experience. Time's my biggest factor. Before I started at CENTCOM, I was an avid runner. I ran all the time. I had a job with flexible hours, and usually on a typical day you could catch me running whatever route I was doing. I ran between 5 and 12 miles a day, 6 days a week. Weekends and other days like that, I'd go and I'd do race events. And because I'm kind of a smaller guy, running was my thing, because you don't have to be really big. I didn't have to be big to play football or anything like that. I could just go run, and it was a personal sport, which was important to me. I just depended on myself. Not that I don't like playing with others, but it's just something I could do for me. If I missed a day while I was working out, I'd kind of beat myself up about it, and I'd push myself even harder the next day. I did it not only to work out, but I did it because it was fun for me. I really enjoyed it. But when I started working at CENTCOM, my exercise routines changed. It's not uncommon for us in my work to work 4 to 6 days a week, usually 5 or 6 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days. Because you're working so much, it's really hard to juggle. Personal life, getting enough sleep, spending time with family, friends, running all the errands, just everything that life encompasses. It's really hard to juggle all of that because of time, and still get the recommended workout. After about the first year that I was at CENTCOM, I kind of did a little look at myself, and I realized that I wasn't working out hardly at all, maybe a couple times a month, which is not nearly as much as what I wanted to do. After a couple years, I wasn't doing anything. Every once in a while I'd have a week of motivation where I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get back into this, but I failed. Because I just didn't have the time, because I was trying to make time where I didn't have it. So again, exercise was the very first thing that I pushed off. But what I'm going to show you today are a couple ways that not only can you find the time to work out, time to get all the benefits from working out, I'm going to show you some ways that you can even get paid to do it. So if everybody will take a look at your piece of paper there. Who wants to read the first objective for today?
What?
Anybody?
List 3 benefits to working out regularly from memory as directed in class.
All right. And the second one?
Perform 2 exercises using only a chair as demonstrated in class.
All right. So, I need a volunteer to come up here and run.
Okay, I'm on.
All right. We're going to have a short little brainstorming exercise today. While he's getting ready to write, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about the benefits of exercising regularly with the brainstorm exercise. We're going to take into consideration some some things to think about before you do anything. We're going to talk about 2 different exercises, the chair dip and the chair lunge. We're going to have kind of wrap everything together. So what we're going to do now is we're all going to brainstorm, just throw out ideas. What are the benefits of exercising regularly?
More energized.
More energized? And I'm sorry?
Healthier?
Feel healthier?
Recover quicker?
Okay, from what?
Like physical force things, force a fight, having to respond to an emergency, or
All right.
Recover, I didn't get that. Recover quickly fire.
And if you get into a physical altercation or there's some sort of emergency or
So like an injury?
any sort of injury. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, I was just meaning your recovery time quicker from, that's a good one. I wouldn't throw it out, but I was meaning like, recovery time from going from 0 to 60 and then back down to about, 25 a little quicker than, does that make sense? You
Yeah.
run down the hall to a fight, you deal with the fight,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Okay,
recover
cool down
a
a
little
little bit
quicker. It
afterwards.
only takes a minute or two instead of taking like 5 minutes to get yourself calmed down and get adrenaline out of your system a little bit.
Alright.
All right. What else?
Endurance.
Endurance. Endurance for,
Like what he was saying, getting yourself prepared if that situation comes up where an officer needs your assistance, you're not winded by the time you get to his location.
good.
Get out your aggression.
Aggression, that's a good one. Get out your aggression. What sort of things would we have aggression towards in our lines of fields?
Brass.
Okay.
That's just one.
Administrative decisions. Well, what else would we have aggressions for?
Sometimes our coworkers.
Coworkers. Yeah.
Children.
Sometimes just the everyday people
Stress.
we deal with. Yeah. Stress. Stress is another good reason to exercise. It can help deal with stress. Exercising is an effective way to deal with stress, right?
Makes you stronger.
It does. Good. Right. Thank you very much.
That's it.
All right. We got a good list here. Some of the things that I had on my list that weren't up here. Okay. Some of the things that are on my list. Some of the long-term benefits of exercising regularly. You can have just decreased risk of heart disease, decreased blood pressure, decreased body fat. You just look more fit. Decreased cholesterol. Decreased risk of diabetes, risk of cancer, especially colon and breast cancer. Those two have been clinically shown. More people exercise, less risk to have those. Decreased risk of osteoporosis as you get older. Decreased arthritic symptoms. People that exercise regularly take 30% less sick days than an average person that doesn't work out. And kind of a big thing, long term, decreased chance of premature death. Nobody wants to die early, so as long as possible. So those are some of the long-term benefits. Some of the short-term ones, relaxes and revitalizes, more energy. It helps boost your self-esteem and self-confidence levels. If you feel better about yourself, if you feel better about how you look, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna perform better. You're just gonna be more confident. You're gonna have that air about you that you may not have otherwise. And stress. Stress is a big one. Stress. We all have stress in our lives, and exercise is a good way to deal with that. So a couple of things to consider before you do any sort of physical routine. Always, before you start any regular routine, always consult your doctor, especially if you've been inactive for a long period of time or if you know that you have any health issues. They can best advise you on what exercises to do and what not to do if you have any sort of issues like that. Never push yourself beyond your limit. If you feel any sort of discomfort, stop immediately. Listen to your body. Your body's telling you what to do. a difference between a good pain because you're pushing yourself, and there's a difference between, oh my gosh, I think I just pulled something. So just listen to your body. Never push yourself beyond your limit. Always make sure that any sort of equipment that you have is going to be working properly. You don't want anything to malfunction and get seriously injured because of that. Before working out, make sure you stretch, warm up, and most importantly, have fun while you're doing it. The first exercise we're going to do today is the chair dip. You can find a chair in post office spaces, houses, anywhere you go. Just something to do. With me at my work as a dispatcher, it's really hard to actually get out and get physical exercise. We have a little gym at our work, but unless we want to come early to go to work out or hold over, and if we do that, we're going to get mandated for more overtime. Unless we want to do that, then there's not really a whole lot of opportunity to actually use our gym. So we kind of, at my center, we've come up with some creative ways to do some stuff at our consoles. We've actually come up with a competition that we're doing this year for different dispatchers that want to have different goals. Some people, their goal is to lose weight. Some of them are to gain muscle mass, gain weight. And the best part about the goals that we have at work is there's no prize at the end. Everybody's just doing it for themselves. So this is one of the things that we've been doing. It's called the chair dip. I put some of the instructions on your paper if you guys want to follow along. The first part, while sitting on the front portion of the chair, place your legs straight out in front of you with your heels on the floor. Place your hands at the sides of your body and on the front of the chair. Lift your body forward so your butt is off the chair slightly and in front of it. Lower your body down and lift it back up. So here's what that looks like. You want to sit toward the front of your chair. Kind of scoot forward a little bit. Put your hands on the front of the chair. Make sure your chair's not going to fall over, going to tip over, anything like that. Remember, safety is the number one thing here. Put your legs out in front of you and just dip down and then raise back up. And dip down and raise back up. So a couple of benefits of this exercise is it's going to work your triceps, your biceps, your deltoids, your chest, abs, and back. It's going to work all these areas. So it's going to be able to have this positive effect on these certain areas, in particular your body. So again, I'm going to do it in kind of regular speed. Just kind of sit down, go toward the front of my chair here, put my legs out, down and up, down and up. And you can bend your knees a little bit if you want. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Remember, listen to your body, listen to do what's most comfortable for you to do. So I want everybody to get up and bring their chairs up to the front.
This could be happening. I'm glad you're aware of that.
If anybody feels uncomfortable doing this, you don't have to do it. I'm not going to make you, but I strongly encourage you to try. But once again, if you have any reasons where you can't, don't do it. So first step, everybody sit on the chair and scoot forward. Go ahead and put your legs out. And then just dip down and go back up. All right, again, dip down and go back up. Down and up. All right, sit back down, shake it out if you want. Good, so how do you guys feel about that?
Feels good.
Good. All right. You guys want to go get your papers? We'll talk about the instructions for the next exercise. You can leave your chairs up here because we're going to do another one too. This one's called the chair lunge. This one takes a little bit of balance also. So read the instructions first. Anybody want to read the steps for this?
Facing forward, place top of left foot or tiptoes on the seat of the chair. Second step, lunge outward with your right leg, making sure to keep your knee over your ankle. Third step, deep lunge forward using your right leg to support your body weight. The fourth step, lift your body back up to lounge position. And then the fifth step is switch legs.
All right, so I'm going to show you how to do this first. So your first step, facing forward, you want to put your left leg, choose your right one if you want, on the back of the chair, where the top of your foot or your tiptoes on the top of the chair. Second one, you can go ahead and put your hands on your hips or wherever is most comfortable for you. You want to dip down and then just come straight up. So your foot on the top of the chair, dip down, and then come up. Just repeat this. And then once you get one of your legs get tired, you can switch legs or you can switch them off and on. So go ahead and everybody stand up. Once again, if you think you're going to have any issues doing this, no pressure to do it. So make sure you're good position in front of your chair. Put the top of your foot on top of the chair. And just dip down and come back up. Dip down and come back up. All right, go ahead and do a few of those if you feel comfortable. Switch legs if you want. Make sure you don't fall. All right. So how do you guys feel about that one?
Feels good, kind of loosens you up, you know?
Yeah.
And your legs,
It's
and your hips.
Oh yeah, it's a good way if you're going to be at a if you're going to be at a desk or you're going to be at a console for long periods of times, like we are at my job. It's a good way to kind of loosen up. Once again, also if you guys find yourself sitting at your desk, writing a report or something like that, you can have these exercises to do there too. So go ahead and go back to your seats. So let's go ahead and take a look back at our objectives. The first one was to list 3 benefits of working out regularly from memory as discussed in class. Who can name one without looking at the board? That's why it's from memory.
To relieve stress.
Relieve stress, good.
Healthier.
To feel healthier.
Aggression.
Let's take out aggression, good. So there's some 3 positive factors. Do you guys feel comfortable that you can perform those 2 exercises using a chair anywhere? You can go back to your work, you can go back to your office, you can go anywhere, back to your hotel if you're staying in a hotel here. So, anybody have any questions about anything today? All right. So today we talked about the benefits of exercise. We also address some reasons why people don't exercise, time being a big factor, work being a big factor. And this is something that you can do while you're at work, so you don't have to take personal time away from other things. Plus you can get paid to do it while you're at work too. It may look a little silly to some of your coworkers at first, but it's for you. This is something about you. So what I hope is today that you're going to take this back and you're going to do this. I want you guys to feel healthier about yourselves, feel better about yourselves, and be able to live longer, not have that premature death. So, thank you.
18 minutes, 55 seconds.
Hey, it worked out well.
Right on. All right, we'll start with you, John. After you take a swig.
I said a lot.
Okay.
I'm a big ummer.
But what did you do well?
I tried not to say a lot.
Okay. All right. What else? Come on, you did a great job. Pat yourself on the back for a little bit. It's okay.
During the brainstorm activity, I tried to ask some of those Socratic questions when people were talking about things. Okay, what do you mean by this? And can you explain that? And so I tried to throw some Socratic questions out there. There's another tried to sell this as something that could benefit them, motivation, something that they could transfer, get out of here, utilize right away.
Right. Good buzzwords there.
Yeah.
All right,
Buzzwords.
so anything besides that you'd like to do? Are you gonna do this tomorrow, just longer?
I don't know. I'm excited.
Okay. So for next time.
I fidget a lot, so I don't know if I was fidgeting with my hands,
Okay.
but something I tend to do.
So duct tape your hands to your side. All right, Randy, go ahead.
I definitely like the exercises. I actually never thought of doing that type of lunge before. And so when I was doing it, I was kind of cracking up, like, hey, this is actually working pretty well. So I did like the exercise that you pointed out. On the other side of that, I can't really think of anything really negative to say or things that you really need to work on. I guess, your grabber probably a little bit needs to be more, I guess, worked on a little bit.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. Gary?
I think he moved around the room well. He
Tell
can-
him.
Yes.
Tell him.
I think he moved around the room well. He was doing great, moving around the room. I think he kept the information flowing, constantly giving information. I think something negative. Have you ever done this lounge chair stuff before? Using a chair at work?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, well, I think that you're going back to your notes. Following, having to walk from where you were at, where you had our attention, and going all the way back to your outline was hindering you a lot.
Okay.
I already thought you already knew what you were talking about, but you kept walking all the way back over there, so it kind of kept me distracted. I had you, you had me, you're talking about, then you walked back over there, and you lost me. For that, that information, I was like lost, and then you started off on another section of it. But I thought you did great with the explaining how to do the exercises.
That's actually one of the benefits of posting an overview on an easel chart at the back of the room, if that helps, because you're right, you know this, and so to have that to keep an eye on back there, to keep you on track, might minimize the amount of times you go back to your notes there. Go ahead, Erin.
I think you did a good job.
How about the spelling? Messed up one. Oh, that
Yeah,
was me.
that was all you. I would, just what he pointed out with your notes, having to go back.
Shane?
This was good. I was kind of surprised at first. I thought, workplace workouts. But actually, by the end of it, I was like, you had me hooked, because I got to thinking, chair dip's not going to work a whole lot where I'm at, but, sometimes I'm in a spot where I do the chair lunge pretty easy, and that was a different sort of lunge than I thought about. Like the moving around, applying it to me, showing me how it applies to me and what benefit it can have for me. I think the only really negative thing I'd have to say is the referring back to the notes, because I agree with Gary, you did know your topic, you've done it, you come across that you know the topic until you start keeping going over and looking at the notes. It kind of minimizes your confidence in it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're saying it minimized your confidence in him?
Yeah.
When he did that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, that was.
I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
I liked it, John. I thought it was very well done. And we get specific with that. I thought your personal introduction established good credibility, both in your field, right, as well as in your topic. And I think that was a nice blending of both. In fact, you took a good amount of time, particularly specific to the topic. Developing that that sense of credibility. I thought that worked really, really well for you. I thought, the question that you asked the group right off, how many of you exercise and any of that kind of thing. Again, it's a good idea right off to establish that expectation of participation in the learning experience. It sets a good tone, and I thought that worked well for you. You also did a nice job, you know, when you got responses from them, of supporting their responses and so on.